A few days after harvest, plant material can begin giving off a dry, grassy or hay-like smell. Many growers immediately blame poor genetics, but the real explanation is often more complicated. Before we jump in, remember, this channel is for viewers over 18 and our content is purely educational. We're not here to promote or encourage illegal activity. In the UK, cannabis cultivation remains illegal without a license. What we are doing is learning plant science and helping beginners avoid common mistakes. Big news! The Growfellas website is now live. Visit www.thegrowfellas.com for all your hydroponic and indoor growing equipment in one place. From LED grow lights and grow tents to fans, filters, nutrients, complete kits, and accessories. We have got everything you need, and we are adding 250 new products every week, so there is always something new to discover. Whether you are starting out or upgrading your grow room, the Growfellas is here to help you grow smarter. Shop now at www.thegrowfellas.com and use promo code BUDFELLAS for 10% off. The Growfellas Premium Grow Equipment. That big smell can be a sign of the biological and chemical changes taking place inside freshly harvested plant tissue. The plant may have been cut, but its internal activity does not stop instantly. For a limited period, cells continue respiring, enzymes remain active, pigments begin breaking down, and stored compounds are gradually transformed. This natural breakdown process is similar to senescence, the same biological program responsible for leaves changing colour and aging at the end of a growing season. During this stage, chlorophyll, sugars, starches, and other remaining plant compounds begin to degrade. These substances can contribute to fresh-cut grass, vegetation, and hay-like aromas. The important point is that post-harvest drying is not simply a matter of waiting for water to disappear. It is a transition period in which moisture movement, temperature, airflow, and plant chemistry interact. Water is also not distributed evenly throughout harvested flowers or other dense plant material. The surface may lose moisture quickly, while thicker stems and internal tissues remain wet for much longer. Before that internal moisture can evaporate, it must first travel outward through the plant tissue. This creates two separate processes: internal moisture migration and surface evaporation. Surface evaporation can happen rapidly, especially under warm, dry, or windy conditions. Internal migration is naturally slower. When the outside dries much faster than the centre, the surface can become firm or brittle, while moisture remains trapped deeper inside. This effect is sometimes described as case hardening. The exterior appears dry, but the inner material has not reached the same condition. Once placed inside a closed container, moisture from the centre can migrate outward again, causing the internal humidity to rise. That moisture rebound is not necessarily a faulty reading. It can simply reveal that the material had not equalized before it was stored. This is also why room humidity readings do not tell the entire story. Relative humidity describes the surrounding air, not the moisture condition inside the plant material itself. Temperature changes how strongly the air draws moisture from a wet surface, so the same humidity reading can create very different drying behaviour at different temperatures. Air movement affects this process as well. A thin layer of humid air naturally develops around moist plant material. This boundary layer slows evaporation and acts as a temporary buffer. Strong air directed straight at the material continuously removes that layer and replaces it with drier room air. Many aroma compounds are volatile and naturally evaporate over time. Smaller aromatic molecules tend to disappear more readily, while heavier compounds generally remain longer. Heat can accelerate this process. Determining when drying is complete can be difficult. Simple touch tests provide only a rough indication because different parts of the material may dry at different rates. After initial drying, plant material may continue changing during storage. Moisture redistributes, pigments continue degrading, and remaining plant compounds continue breaking down. Strong sour, rotten, or ammonia-like odours should never be treated as signs of successful aging, as they may indicate unsuitable storage conditions. The wider lesson is simple. Successful post-harvest handling is not primarily about chasing one perfect number. It is about controlling the rate of change. Every part of the process influences how quickly water leaves the tissue and how much time the plant's remaining chemistry has to settle. The fastest method is rarely the most effective. In many forms of horticulture and food preservation, slower and more controlled moisture removal often produces a more even and stable result. Post-harvest drying is therefore not an empty waiting period. It is one of the final stages of plant biology, and decisions made during that period can preserve or undo months of careful work.